Animals and your ability to farm them for their renewable resources is one of the biggest new features introduced in Build 42. However, with this being a brand new system in the game, there's probably a lot of people out there who don't know where to start with it, so that's why I decided to make this in-depth animal husbandry guide for Project Zomboid. First of all, I will start off by saying that a lot of the different aspects of animal farming can be changed in the sandbox settings, such as the time it takes for them to age and produce their resources, among other things. So if there's anything about it that you wish was different, there's a good chance you'll be able to change it in there. Alright, so as far as livestock animals go, there are 4 main ones currently in Vanilla Project Zomboid: cows, sheep, chickens, and pigs. All of them can be butchered for their meat and hide using a butcher hook, which can be built with level 3 carpentry. Each animal also has their own unique resource for the most part though. There are also different breeds of some of the animals which are better at producing specific things. Holstein cows give you the most milk, sheep can be sheared for wool with the Rambouillet breed being the most efficient, and chickens lay eggs, making either pigs or Angus cows the best option for farming meat while keeping the other animals for their unique resources. To get started, first you'll need to set up a livestock zone like so. To bring animals that you found to the enclosure that you've made, they can be transported around the map using livestock trailers. Or instead, you can also just use one of the pre-generated livestock zones that you can find which have animals in them already. This technically doesn't have to be in an enclosed space unless you have the Meta Predators sandbox option enabled, which makes it so that animals can be killed in the night or when you are away by an unseen predator if they are not in an enclosed area. Luckily, this option is disabled by default. Make sure that your livestock zone has a feeding trough for food and a separate feeding trough for water. There are actually a few troughs you can choose from, like the short wooden one, the long wooden one, and this big metal one. The only animals that really require some form of shelter in their zone is chickens, which need a hutch. Hutches can be built at level 3 carpentry and are where chickens lay eggs and go to roost. Apparently, other animals are not bothered by bad weather and don't necessarily need a shelter, but if you build a roofed structure like a barn, they will go in there if it rains or snows. To feed your animals, as I said before, you'll need 2 separate feeding troughs for food and water. To build the simple one, you will need level 3 carpentry, a hammer, 4 planks, and some nails. For the most part, you can feed all livestock animals with hay, grass, vegetables, fruits, and animal feed, but chickens can also eat seeds and nuts apparently. Animal feed is the most ideal food to use, but cut grass is the easiest to obtain. You can just right-click on these patches of overgrown grass to pick it, and using a scythe to do this will give you more. There are also various different things that can stress your animals out. When stressed, animals will produce less resources and apparently sometimes will even destroy stuff. Loud noises, nearby zombies, dead bodies, overcrowding, and butchering other animals nearby are some of the things that can stress your livestock out. So for one thing, it's a good idea to at least make sure your butchering spot is in a separate area from your animal pen. And also make sure not to kill any animals in front of each other either. To make sure that your animals are doing okay, just make sure to periodically check in on their health and stress tabs. And speaking of zombies, the noise from your animals will attract them to your location, but the zombies will not kill them. This is, however, one of the things that can be turned off in the sandbox settings. The only real outside sources that can kill them besides you is if they are neglected for too long, they age to death, or are killed by a Meta Predator event, which again is disabled by default. One last tip I have is to make sure you keep a good balance of males and females amongst the different kinds of animals you have. Things can easily get out of hand with overbreeding, and this will cause all the animals to use up your resources too quickly and also become stressed. In addition to this, animals that produce milk will only do so if they have given birth recently, so you'll have to keep that in mind if you want a constant supply of milk. Make sure that you're either slaughtering unneeded animals or only keeping one gender for each species that you don't need milk from so you can harvest their renewable resources without having to worry about them having babies. Overall, farming the various new animals can be a really great way to make sure you constantly have food in the later days of the zombie apocalypse. I would say it's definitely worth doing. You can live off of drinking milk, turning it into butter, and also just eating eggs. Not to mention you'll always have wool in case you need new clothes. And of course, Angus cows and pigs will also provide you with tons more food should you decide to butcher them. Well, I hope that this guide has been helpful to some of you out there. Be sure to leave a comment sharing your opinion on the new animal farming system, and also let me know if there's anything I missed here or if there's any other Build 42 feature I should do a guide on. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon.